Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Gaming Stealth. Now, in all fairness, Rockstar seldom goes out of its way to hide any cool weapons or items. Grand Theft Auto is not Borderlands, loot is not the point. The purpose of a sandbox title is to cut the cord and let players craft their own fun. Consequently, Ammu-Nation tends to stock the vast majority of tools necessary to facilitate such an experience. Coincidentally, any weapon not part of the store's catalog can be easily overlooked. Introduced in GTA 5, the crowbar needs to be picked up in the wild. Luckily, one can be found at the Los Santos Customs building close to Michael's mansion. Released as part of Rockstar's Independence Day special, the musket is among the most powerful weapons in Grand Theft Auto 5 or online. Anyone remember the Deadpool scene where the anti-hero eliminated multiple goons just using one bullet? The musket should be able to produce similar results, although NPCs tend to be somewhat smarter than no-name characters in Hollywood blockbusters. While the gun can be purchased normally in GTA Online, or after completing the Mr. Richards mission in the enhanced version, initially the musket could only be enjoyed by downloading the Time DLC. Luckily, we live in simpler times. Grand Theft Auto 2 featured 10 firearms. Presuming our mathematics skills have not completely atrophied, one missed item was equivalent to 10% of the whole catalog. Crucially, the electro gun has yet to make a comeback. A cross between a pistol and a taser, this electrifying weapon had to be earned. A short-lived feature, Crusher allowed vehicles to be sacrificed for extra cash or a new weapon. In the case of the electro gun, players had to obtain a T-Rex or Jaguar XK and drive the car to the residential or industrial crushers, respectively. Was the item worth the effort? Kind of. The electro gun packed quite a punch, but the piece needed a couple of seconds to build up momentum. If there is one thing gangster flicks have made abundantly clear, it is that mobsters love to plant explosives beneath cars. Goodfellas literally commences with such an attack. While the trajectory varies from character to character, Grand Theft Auto typically follows a rise to power narrative. And the protagonists never fail to make a couple of enemies along the way. Available after installing the Festive Surprise update, proximity mines can be placed underneath inactive or active cars. In the case of the former, the explosion happens once the NPC hits the ignition button, leading to an incredibly satisfying cinematic moment. Modders are capable of injecting nearly anything into certain games, and Rockstar's crime juggernaut is far from the exception. However, weapons available via mods are better left for another list. Concentrating on equipment designed by the developer, the hockey stick served as the equivalent of the golf club in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Like the previously mentioned melee weapon, Ammu-Nation stock does not cover the hockey stick, and unlocking the item requires some exploration. Liberty City Stories contains 2 hockey sticks, one next to Liberty City Memorial Stadium, and the other in Hepburn Heights. Separated by a little more than a year, Grand Theft Auto 5 was re-released for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Bolstered by the improved hardware, Rockstar Sandbox never looked better. However, the studio injected a couple of extra trinkets to further justify the port. Among newly introduced weaponry, the railgun can be purchased from Ammu-Nation for a pricey $250,000. But this stock is limited to the single-player campaign. GTA Online limits the weapon to certain modes, although the item can be added to free roam by applying this trick. Unfortunately, ammo cannot be purchased, therefore the railgun should be left for special occasions. Technically, snowballs qualify as a weapon. Admittingly, they are somewhat more playful than nearly every other item featured on this list. Nevertheless, rolling a cold one takes up a spot on the weapon wheel's thrown items section. Limited to Grand Theft Auto Online, obviously snowballs are dependent on the weather and require a player to be unarmed at the time. Once the stars align and Los Santos turns to a shade of white, press the left button on the D-pad to create a snowball. As a neat extra detail, snowballs last until the end of a session or the start of a new job. Just make sure to throw them while they're still cold. The musket was not the only weapon produced in celebration of Independence Day. Closer to a toy than a threatening armament, the firework launcher barely damages a car and a direct hit is needed to take out human targets. Taking into account that ammo is amongst the most expensive thing in Grand Theft Auto Online, This festive RPG should be used solely to create pretty lights. Once purchased, the firework launcher remains part of the player's inventory, but ammo tends to be limited to special occasions. As a result, the RPG is rendered obsolete for most of the year. Leatherface's trademark weapon has yet to feature in any of Rockstar's numbered Grand Theft Auto entries, but the melee weapon's roar can be heard in many of the spin-offs. Purchasable from Little Havana's hardware shop in GTA Vice City, the chainsaw packs an unforgettable punch and looks intense in the process. On the off chance someone felt the need to cut a tree, GTA San Andreas opted to keep the useful tool, although chainsaws are not stocked by any shop. Located in multiple spots, wannabe psychopaths should consider searching Avispa Country Club's tennis courts or near Ocean Docks Bridge. Grand Theft Auto V's base game is nothing short of brilliant, but Rockstar has steadily transformed GTA Online into arguably the most comprehensive multiplayer package on the market. Over the 5 odd years since debuting in 2013, the studio regularly publishes free updates designed to complement and expand the initial unit. For example, the Bikers DLC established motorcycle clubs and added 13 vehicles to the already extensive roster. On a smaller note, this update coincided with the release of the compact grenade launcher, which can be purchased from Ammu-Nation. Ready to hit the open road as GTA's equivalent of Easy Rider? This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.